Well, good morning, YouTube. In a not completely unpredictable thing, we screwed up doing the valve covers. Or I should say, I screwed up.
I was going to say, the side I did is not screwed up.
I screwed up, and the valve cover gasket's leaking.
So are you recording all of the nefarious activities?
If you're new to the channel, my name is Dan. That is Adam. He is not helpful, and he makes me sad. But this is my garage, and that is my Ferrari 458, and we were working on a bunch of stuff on it, so we had quite a few projects on it, and well, I screwed up, and the valve covered gaskets are not sealing, and we have an oil leak. So any of you that happen to catch our live oil change saw that it was a complete disaster. We had oil leaking everywhere, and then, well, anyway. So we gotta try and fix that. Let me show you what's going on. But before we do, real quick, if you want to support the channel, please go check out normalguysupercar.com. There you can check out our parts and services that we have for sale. We do appreciate when you guys support us and use the code NGS10. It takes off 10%. So hook yourselves up and save a little money. All right, so here's the deal. If you didn't see the other videos, you know that we did a ton of work. We had the intake manifolds off, we had the valve covers off, we did some oil catch cans. We even walnut blasted my intake valve. So quite a bit of work. And then we went to start it up. And it was interesting is when I first ran it, there was no visible oil leak. But the second time I ran it, there was. And so what we've determined is there is an oil leak down there on the valve covers. I think the best solution is we're gonna have to take everything off the top of the valve cover, pop it off, check the valve cover gasket, make sure it's still in okay condition, probably put some cameras or mirrors or something down there, and then try and get it to seat properly. So the weird thing was, even though I did do the torque specs according to the sheet, there were 2 bolts that were loose and definitely not torqued. So I don't know if maybe the valve cover was sitting cockeyed and 2 of the screws just torqued incorrectly. I don't know. So either way, it's definitely human error. So we're gonna try and fix that and see if we can't get this thing finally back on the road. It's been about a month. Okay, so I was sticking my little borescope down there and we see what the problem is. The tab for the heat shield is actually pinched on the gasket. So we're gonna try and loosen up the bolts and get it out and see if maybe, just maybe, the gasket's still okay, and then reseal it and pray to God. Well, YouTube, that was what was stuck in there. So I actually just kind of cut it off the heat shield because I could not get enough leverage to get it out. You could see it was actually pinned here, and so then I had to kind of like snake it out, and well, it's out. So now the problem is we don't know if it did any damage to the gasket. There's no reason not to at least attempt to see if the gasket will seal. I mean, worst case scenario is we're gonna have to pull the valve cover off and put on a new gasket, which really I don't wanna do. But that's the worst case scenario. So best case scenario is the gasket just works. Now I can feel that the gasket did get dislodged a little bit. So I have to kind of pop up the valve cover a little bit, and I'm going to try and get it into the right position. And then I'm also, just out of an abundance of caution, going to run a little bit of RTV sealant just where the one section of where that thing was, just in case it did damage the gasket at all. That should hopefully help alleviate some of that risk. So we'll give it a shot. I mean, my confidence is low that this is going to work, but I mean, hey, like I said, it's worth a shot. We'll see what happens. Sometimes you just gotta roll with the punches. Well, good news, I think, maybe, hopefully. We got it all put back together. So I'm just gonna let it sit for a while to let that RTV dry, which is perfect timing because I literally put in the last screw and then I had a phone call from Josh, and he's taking a client's 360 for its test drive or whatever, and the F1 system took a shit. So so yeah, I gotta go rescue Josh. So I'm gonna do a rescue mission and then we'll come back and finish it up.
6.5 hours later.
All right, it's been a couple hours. I just checked the gasket sealer and it feels dry, so everything's buttoned up. And I think it's, we're gonna give it a shot. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start it up and then I'm gonna feel if there's any oil leaking from there. And if there is not, well, then I think we are ready to roll. So I'll let it run for maybe a minute or 2, look for some oil, shut it off, and then crawl in the engine and check it, because obviously I'm not going to crawl in the engine while it's running. Basically, the best way to check if there's any oil is I'll be able to feel where the oil was coming out before and see if I can feel any oil. see any new oil. None. I guess we can attempt to crawl on the engine, although it might be hot as hell. Yes, no leaks. Finally, the 458 is ready to drive. Yes, what a nightmare. This has been a lot of work. I haven't been able to drive it for over a month. So I think I need to wash it. It is disgusting. It's like totally covered in dirt. I know it doesn't look like that on camera, but it's disgusting. What a crazy job. So yeah, we got lots of stuff done on it. Valve covers look good. Intake manifolds look good. New intake valves were cleaned. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this. It shows that, you know, it doesn't matter how much you plan, stuff still always goes wrong. I guess the lesson here is like you really need to double check, make sure that everything around the gasket is clear. I was so concerned about the front side of the gasket, I just forgot to check the bottom right there. And admittedly, it's in a very hard to see spot. So yeah, I mean, there's no way I can get the camera to really see it very well. As you saw, we had to use like the borescope and stuff. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please go visit normalguysupercar.com if you'd like to support us. You can buy parts and services for supercars and other things. Use the code NGS10, it'll take off 10%. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, and subscribe, and we will be doing a lot of car stuff. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned. It's gonna be sweet.